Students, today we will read the poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. It is the first poem of the ninth class prescribed in the NCERT syllabus. Robert Frost is very famous poet and he belongs to America. He is an American poet, but he did not get any success in writing or being a writer there, so he moved to England. But his work initially published in England before it was published in America, and he got success in England as a writer. This poem is written when Robert Frost didn't get any success about a writer. In this poem, as the title is given, The Road Not Taken. In this poem, the poet is talking about the time when he did not get any success, and he is talking about the choices. Here the word road is symbolic of choices. The road which he left and he did not choose to walk on. So this poem is very important and special for everyone's life, because everyone has faced some challenges of making a decision. Everyone has to make a decision in his or her life, and that particular decision gives shape to our future. So let us start reading the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. The poet is talking about the two roads that were separated in a yellow wood. Here yellow refers to the autumn season, where the leaves of the trees turned yellow. Wood means forest. The poet is standing in the forest, and before him there were two roads, and they was diverged. And sorry, the poet is feeling regretted. I could not travel both. Why he feels regretted? Because he could not travel on both the roads and be one traveler. What is the reason behind behind the fact that he could not travel on the both roads? Because he was one traveler. Being a one traveler, he could not travel on both the roads. Long I stood and looked down, one as far as I could. Here the poet says that I stood there for a long time and looked down on one road as far as he could see, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Where could the poet see the roads? From which point? Where the road bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth means the brushes beneath the taller trees in a wood or a forest, or you can say low grass. So in this stanza, the poet regrets that before him there were two roads, and being one traveler, he could not travel on both the roads. Now take the second stanza. Then took the other. What is the poet saying? He took the other road to walk on, just as fair. The road he took to travel on was very fair, or you can say the road was very pleasant to the eyes, and having perhaps the better claim, or it seemed to the poet that the other road was claiming for better to walk on, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Why did the poet feel that the road is fair and it is better to walk on? Because it was very grassy. The grass on the road was refresh and wanted wear, and it was attracting the poet to walk on. Wear means impairment resulting from long use. Because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there. The poet is talking about the passengers who were walked on that road had warned them really about the same. He says that the travelers had used both the roads same. The two roads were same. The passengers were walked on. The passengers had walked on both of the roads, and they seemed the poet equal to walk on. Next in third stanza, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. The poet is saying that both here refers to the two roads. That morning equally lay. In the morning when the poet was standing before the two roads, they were equally attractive. In leaves no step had trodden black. The leaves were on the two roads, and it seemed that no step has walked on that road, and the both of the roads were not made dirty by the steps of the travelers. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Here the poet gives an exclamatory expression that he chooses he chose the first road, and he left the second sorry the poet chose the second road, and he kept the first road for another day. The poet thought that he would try to walk on the first road for some another day, so he chose the second road to walk on. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, the poet knew the fact that if one starts to walk on the one road, that road spread out, or you can say that road may be diverged in other roads. I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet is in doubt. Here is the poet is in dilemma that if he should ever come back to walk on the first road that he had left to try for some another day. So he is saying that it is very difficult to leave the road that he started walking on, to come back and to walk again from the first road. It is very difficult for anyone. Here the poet is trying to say about the choices that we take in our lives, or it is related to our career options. And if one had chosen the career, he could not come back from that career to start a new career from the first. Now take the last stanza of the poem. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Here the poet is saying that if he did not get success by walking on the second road, then he would be telling the stories of his failure with an utterance extreme sadness, that somewhere ages and ages hence, ages and ages means for a long period of time, and hence means from this time, he would be telling to the people his stories of failure with a great repentance. Two roads diverged in a wood. What would be the story of the poet to tell to the people after ages and ages, he would have a story to tell to the to tell to the people that two roads diverged in a wood. What will be the story to tell the people? That two roads diverged in a wood, and it means there were two choices before him, and I took the one less traveled by. And what did the poet do? He chose that road on which very few people have traveled, and that has made all the difference. And the choice made by the poet has made all the difference in his life, because once we make a choice, our whole life or our future is depend on that choice, and it creates all the difference in one's life. The poet has to face dilemma of choosing one road out of the two, and he says that if he didn't get success, then his choice would be a story of his failure. So I hope you have understood the poem.